Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with Fonearena.com and this is the brand new Motorola Moto E second generation. Not a lot has changed from the first generation. This has a slightly larger display, a refreshed design, has a front facing camera and a slightly larger rear facing camera unit. But again, not a lot has changed. So what's the real deal about the Motorola Moto E? That's what we're going to find out in this unboxing, and we'll also give you our first impressions view after unboxing this device. So let's go ahead. So let's take a look at the highlights behind the box. It has a sharp 4.5-inch QHD display, which is the same resolution but a slightly larger screen. 4.3 was the first generation. There is a water resistant coating inside and out. It's just water resistant, it's not waterproof, so probably splash proof, that's about it. It has the same powerful 1.2 gigahertz quad core processor, which is the Snapdragon 200 MSM8610, and it's got the pure Android experience. That's one thing really good about Moto devices. You've got pure Android lollipop, no custom skin, nothing. It just works like a Nexus device. And over at the back, we have a 5MP rear facing camera up from a 3 megapixel. And this time, unfortunately, it's still fixed focus, and we're not expecting great things from it. And there is also a VGA camera at the front finally. So that's pretty much about it in terms of the box. Now let's unbox it and see what the contents are like. So there you go, the phone is right at the top of the box. Let's take that out. It's quite chunky, this phone. It was chunky in the first generation too, but there are some obvious changes in design. There is actually a dual tone variant in white and blue that looks really good, but this is the full black version. Anyway, let's keep the device aside for a while and take a look at the other box contents. So these are the box contents that they have. The usual booklets for the user guide and the warranty and so on. So that's that. And you have a travel charger, micro USB of course, and a really normal looking headset. So that's about it in the box, nothing else. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the phone here. The phone, as you can see by now, is slightly different in terms of design. The apparent change is that it loses the steel thing at the bottom, so that's gone. It's got a larger display and also a front facing camera. That's the only apparent thing at the front. And over the sides you can see that this time it has a texture, and there is also something interesting that I will show you later on. But you have the power button and the volume rocker. Moving to the top, you have the 3.5mm audio jack. Left has nothing, and of course you have the micro USB port at the bottom. So yes, that's about it for a quick look at the hardware. Of course, at the back you have the 5MP rear facing camera and the Motorola logo, which is in a depression and of course really feels nice for holding in one hand. So yes, that's the Motorola Moto E second gen. The interesting thing that you might have noticed is that there is no real way to take the cover off. So how do you do that? This is how. So you open the side instead of the back. The side panel opens up. I'm not sure if it's going to open easily, but I'm going to try. There you go. So the side panel opens out. So this has the volume rocker and so on. This opens up to reveal the slots on the phone. So these are the slots. You have two SIM card slots and one micro SD card slot on one side, and this is where you can find the IMEI information and so on the other side. And of course you have the volume rockers. So it is technically possible to change this alone to different colors. So in case you're looking for a different combination, you can probably swap this with your friends and so on. So that's quite interesting. In terms of design, you have the option to change this out and probably easily replace it whenever needed. This also adds to the grip of the phone. So you have really rough grip on the sides, which adds to the ergonomic use of the phone. So that's the Motorola Moto E in terms of hardware. In terms of software, it's pretty much an Nexus device. Let's boot this up and see what it's like. It has the classic Motorola boot logo. The screen is a bit bright for now, so I'm going to reduce the brightness a little until the UI comes up, that is. That's the boot screen. Probably one of the nicest boot screens that we have ever seen. And as you can see, this is running Lollipop. This is the setup screen that you get. So the device has booted up and you can see straight away that it's got all the characteristics of the Nexus UI. The lock screen, everything looks very Nexus like, and it's pretty much stock. There is no modification at all from Motorola. You can see that there are indeed some apps that they have added. For example, the FM radio, the gallery app is their own, and some more. But rest of it is exactly like stock Android, which is really cool because only Nexus devices have the same experience usually. So that's the Android version right there. It's Android 5.0.2 and you get all the goodness of Lollipop here. So it is working pretty well actually. Even for the Snapdragon 200 chipset, it's quite optimized and really smooth. Moto E was fast indeed for KitKat, and it looks like this is good enough for Lollipop. So yes, this is the Android 5.0 powered Motorola Moto E. The Android One devices haven't got Lollipop yet, and probably that's the only advantage that we have got here. The camera is still fixed focus. It's still bad. It's not great. You can see that it still has the same gesture and all that, but the camera has poor white balance, poor quality, and still really bad. So yeah, that's the Motorola Moto E in a nutshell. It's kind of refreshed. It's got some fixes of the old one, like for example, a slightly larger display. It still looks good, the display. No need for a 720p, I guess. It still looks really good. But yes, you don't have good viewing angles and all the compromises that you usually get with a 7,000 rupee phone. You still have them. But the build quality, as usual, is awesome. And the grip that the new side panel provides is great. The bottom steel grille is gone and you have a front facing camera. That's about it. That's about it for the changes, and that's what's new. So that's what we think about it right now, the Motorola Moto E. We'll be letting you know more in the coming days. So stay tuned to the YouTube channel. Do hit the like button if you like this video and hit the subscribe button for more videos like these. Thanks for watching and let us know what you think in the comment section below.